Today we're going to learn about manipulation, specifically emotional manipulation, which usually comes from a narcissist, and they want to criticize you, blame you for their failures, and they'll talk shit behind your back but act perfect in public. They don't have any sympathy for anyone but themselves, and they love to push your buttons and provoke you and belittle you and wrestle with you emotionally and pull out those emotions because they know they're going to put theirs down at some point. They want to get them out of you too. It's how they learn. It's how they learn to manipulate you. They normally have no regard for anyone. They're a liar, a thief. They'll never admit to being wrong. We all know somebody like this. This is a narcissist. Someone that will find your emotional buzzer where that's where you can't tolerate it anymore, and they'll push that line. They'll push you right over the precipice all the time because it's a game for them, and they love to emotionally manipulate you. And we're going to focus on emotional manipulation. When people use their tells, they use their added suggestive powers to reach you. Red flags of emotional abusers: they make you feel sorry for them. They make you compromise your values. They make you feel used, sometimes all three at the same. If you feel sorry for them, you've probably compromised the value so you can feel sorry for them and not for you. So you compromise yourself and you feel used. They make you feel special to pull you in, and then they'll make you feel guilty and use that to manipulate you. They take a lot from you and they give a little back. Just enough to keep you stringing along, and they don't take responsibility, but they place blame everywhere else, as long as it's not on them. So when these narcissists and these emotional abusers use these tells during speech, they indicate importance in the words, and they're looking for pity and sympathy when they do that, because pity and sympathy are usually forces for good when they're reactions to a deserving person who's fallen on misfortune. But when these sentiments are wrestled out of us by undeserving people that usually don't care about our responses or don't care to emotionally invest in others, then we know something's definitely wrong, because that's just a red flag. When they're asking for you something they rarely display themselves, red flag, we should pay attention. That's a danger signal. Don't overlook it. Please pay attention. When somebody who should not care about your emotional status or anything like that, or you acting out, when they try to prompt you to those moments, and they're consistently not like that, but now they're trying to prompt you to those moments, they're trying to get something out of you to use it against you. This is a red flag. Please be very careful with people like that. Manipulation is a contagious disease, much more dangerous than the flu, because it can endure for a lifetime. Once you have been manipulated once, it's almost like you have a sign on your forehead that says, you can do this to me, and everyone else will try to do it. Everyone else that's a manipulator will try to do it. Dealing with manipulation is all about reading between the lines and recognizing the lies for what they are. So when people are giving what should be a somber statement, and they're using little tells, or they're trying to use physical actions to make their words have more impact, read between those lines. If they're using those little tells to make impact, what are the words? What are they trying to drill into you? Are they trying to get a certain response? Are they trying to flex you, make you agree with them? What are they doing? The success of the manipulation depends on the level of conviction and the force of the denial. Conviction, because they need you to agree with them. They need you to feel the same level of conviction that they do, because then they can twist that emotion. And then they need you to deny what you normally feel and come to their side of the pull. They're pulling you over. Deny your own and feel theirs. Controllers, abusers, and manipulative people don't question themselves. They don't ask themselves if the problem is them. They always say the problem is someone else. So when you get these emotional tells, they're trying to drive these words home with physical actions, then they're trying to push those emotions off to you because they want you to agree with what they're saying. And so they're using that physical draw and contact to use it. Pay attention when people react with anger and hostility to your boundaries. You have found the edge where their respect for you ends. If you're in a discussion with somebody and it gets emotional, it escalates, and all of a sudden they become hostile and physical, stop it and back away, leave. You're not going to do anything productive after that point, and you've discovered that person has a limit, and they will at that point cut off all respect for you, and at that point you cannot do anything productive. You cannot continue that communication. It is all for folly at that point. back away and just leave it. Leave it until you can talk about it with fresh emotions another day, or just cut them off because they're not productive.
Itself.
Everyone has a tail.
I applaud you for pursuing this objective.
Use physical contact,
even though there's overwhelming evidence
to drill
to the
home a
contrary,
point. Watch his tail. Watch
including
for it.
hours
and
and hours
of
videos.
There it is.
And photographic coverage.
Watch for the
There's a
physical
continuous
tails.
shocking
Listen to the
attempt
words
to
he
ignore
says.
or try to destroy
It
the
means
truth
something.
of what truly happened that day.
What was he saying during that?
And to whitewash the facts into something other than what they all mistakenly reveal. An attack on our democracy
again.
by a violent domestic
I used
extremist,
him because he was the
and a
least
stain on
emotional.
our history and our moral standing here home and abroad. As a child in the Dominican Republic, I look up to the United States as the land of opportunity and a place to better myself. And from that moment I landed at JFK in 1992, I has tried to pursue that goal. Thankfully, I achieved that goal on many levels. I was the first in my family to graduate college, join the Army, and become a police officer.
Tearjerker. Listen hard.
On July 23rd,
Double tearjerker.
1999, the day before my 21st birthday, I raised my hand
Double
and swore
whammy.
to protect the Constitution of the United States.
So what was he doing? What was he saying during those
Because
times?
this
How did it
country
come across
gave
to
me
you? What was he
an
trying to pull out of
opportunity
you?
to become anything that I wanted.
Why is this eye contact so
At that
important
time,
during those
I already
specific
started
times?
basic
Why is
training
that
with the
physical
Army
behavior
Reserve.
so important during those specific times? I think he was using this. It was something that he was prompted as those words are very important. Those phrases are very important. Stress these immediately, because he was looking at the camera, ladies and gentlemen, not the council, which would have been to the right. Therefore, he was drilled to make this register with the viewers, stress those specific points, and when he got to them during his speech physically, he was so upset he had to tell. He moved.
Hell doesn't exist,
Here
or
we
that
go.
hell actually wasn't that bad. The indifference shown to my colleagues is disgraceful.
That was explosive. Had I done that as an officer on the stand, I would have been excused from the courtroom. So what was he trying to convey with those emotions? How did it make you feel? Why was physical contact and eye contact used? Tell me about it. Thanks for watching.